It's been a while since I found myself in this space of conflict resolution. I'm writing a novel on the ReMarkable too. Does writing on a device such as the ReMarkable actually work for something like novel writing, which requires a lot of input from the format that it's working with? So I guess I'm going to go over the pros and cons that I have run into writing on this novel, and then you can decide if you want to venture a go at it yourself, if you have a ReMarkable 2 or a similar device. Con number one that I noticed immediately was that on the ReMarkable 2, the pages go on forever and ever. Unless you specify a new page, you could keep writing until your heart's content, and then you have a long e-ink scroll of notes. Now, when you're in the very fresh beginnings of your story, that's not a big deal. And it's also not a big deal if your chapters are short. But if your chapters are longer, then it might be a big deal. This can definitely make it difficult when you're trying to reread what you've written or reference something. There is the grid that allows you to see all of what you have written, but it's small and you can't edit from that page. You can also pinch in and out to see your whole page in entirety, but it is a quite small text. But yes, the scrolling back and forth and up and down. And the second con is that I'm still referencing my computer, the very device that I am trying to get away from when writing distraction free. At times when writing, especially creative writing, you're looking for a new word, a phrase, an alternate way of saying something. I've toyed with the idea of getting a physical thesaurus, but that even to me seems ridiculous. At one point in my story, I was trying to figure out a way a bird's wings flap, kind of with that whooshing noise, and I was having trouble figuring out how to describe it. So I wound up going to my computer to look up things like billowing sails and flags and trees in the wind, and I finally came up with something. It doesn't necessarily seem like a negative. It seems like a great marriage of a distraction-free device, but then also the ability to go to a device that has everything. Therein lies the problem. The very device I'm looking to stay away from while I'm trying to be distraction-free is the thing that's pulling me away from the distraction-free device. This might seem nitpicky, but it does take away from solely being in the moment of the ReMarkable 2. And it kind of begs the question of, well, I should just then type on my computer instead of doing this back and forth sort of dance. Ultimately, it's a system I'm still trying to figure out, and I still really like typing on the ReMarkable, so at this point, even switching over to my computer just seems weird to me. And maybe I need to get better at thinking. Con number 3, which is pretty self-explanatory, there's no autocorrect. You're typing and you're going and you're in a flow. There's going to be no red line to tell you that a word is wrong. There's going to be no auto capitalization. There's going to be no auto space if you forget to put a space. I have missed a lot of stuff when rereading back through my first chapter. The ReMarkable 2 has a split second of a lag time between typing and the text appearing on the page. It's not anything that is distracting, but I have noticed when going back that there were short words that I've missed, such as if or I have missed spaces because I've been typing way too fast, and for some reason the ReMarkable in that moment couldn't quite keep up. So it really does force you to have to go back through your work several times to catch all of those little mistakes. And now I want to briefly talk about the pros of writing a novel on the ReMarkable 2. The first one is It's a distraction-free advice. Now, I know I mentioned before that I'm referencing my computer quite a bit when trying to figure out words or phrases to use, but it's not something that keeps me tied to my computer. That aspect of distraction-free writing has become very integral to the way I'm working nowadays, and it's similar to grabbing a paper journal and going to sit outside with a coffee. It's just you and the journal, which is my second pro. And that is, you can have the paper format and the computer typing format in a perfect hybrid device. Typing is important to me. It is the way I get my words out the easiest. I've not written a book in handwriting form since I was a kid, and I'm not sure that I'd be able to do it. It would be an interesting sort of experiment to go down, maybe in the future. And my third, maybe most important pro, maybe more so than the distraction-free aspect, is that there is no bright, harsh, glowing light of a computer screen. There is no fatigue. There's no nausea. There's no weirdness. There's no headaches. And I didn't realize that it was such a problem until I started writing at night with the ReMarkable 2, and I found myself completely at ease. It's a paper screen, so it's completely, you can't write in the dark. There is no backlight. And that is refreshing. When everything we're surrounded with is just this blue light injected directly into your vision, it's quite calming to have something that is absent of that. It seems to facilitate my writing a little bit more. There's a serenity there. I think that's it for my pros and cons of this, of writing a novel on the ReMarkable 2. In conclusion, can you write a novel on the ReMarkable 2? We'll see.